Please ignore any sudden changes in my costume's appearance, or the weather, or my background. I actually filmed this costume for about an hour one day, and then I decided I didn't like a lot of the footage, so I decided that I would just quickly reshoot a bunch of it. So if there's suddenly a change, I know it's there, I know it's weird, it might flip-flop throughout the video, but since this was a project for fun, I didn't think it really mattered too much. I was gonna put on my hat. Where's my hat? God, I looked right at my hat, didn't even see it. Hello everybody, my name is Murasaki Chini. This is Aishi's butt. She's helping. And today, I thought we would show you my Queen of Hearts costume. Now it's not necessarily a official Queen of Hearts costume because I'm just not all about that. I'm all about making my own costume with either what I have or what I'm given. I like to be unique. I just like to be unique. Anyway, so the most basic part of my costume, besides the mouse ball, the most basic part of my... So the staple of my costume is this black, white, and red Queen of Hearts dress. It was given to me by my father-in-law and my mother-in-law on a Christmas. And to be honest, I think they gave it to me as a joke, not thinking I'd actually be able to do anything with it, but at the same time, if anybody could do it, I could do it. I just started my little dress up thing, and I guess they saw it, thought of me right away, bought it, and here we are. They purchased it at Hot Topic, that's what the thing said anyway. For what they paid for it, I'm pretty sure they've actually gotten their money's worth because I wear this thing all the time. Well, not for just normal everyday stuff, but every time I want to dress up as something and I don't really have a new idea, this is my go-to costume. It's not an official costume, it doesn't really look like any specific Queen of Hearts. This dress actually has a lot of detail. I mean, there's the big obvious bows on it, but it has the little heart-shaped buttons. The little pockets look like little hearts. The bottom is very detailed. It has this really thick lace that matches the rest of the lace. If you look at it really closely, you can see that it has little hearts that go along it. It has this loose little ribbon just kind of stitched in there. Because of all of the heart designs, it was pretty obvious what I could use this for. So I just ran with it. This white shirt is a Lolita fashion shirt, kind of the Victorian style. Lots of lace, lots of ribbons. Very cute. I have no idea what's going on with these little poofy things. I've actually had to like sew them down in parts because they try to like window shade up. Very not cute. Do you ever just feel like somebody's watching you or like listening into what you're doing? It's like I'm sitting in my house, but I have this door open and I just feel like all of my neighbors are sitting in their house going, that nerd, she's doing stuff. I saw her on the deck, she's dressed as some kind of cupcake. She's not right in the head. I'm not wearing the right wig that I usually wear with this. I thought I'd try on a different one. Forgive me if it doesn't look so great. Me and this wig are kind of new friends, so we're attempting to work with it, aren't we, Hat? Yeah, Hat's here too, and he's attempting to help. Oh god, I got skirts everywhere. Also, please forgive my makeup. I have no idea what went on here. I swear, if I'm not careful, I get the Johnny Depp face really bad. Anyway, I brought you down to the floor to show you my kitty. I brought you down to the floor to show you this skirt. Look at how fat this skirt is. You walk in with your skirt like this, everybody looks at you. They don't even have to like what you're doing. They can't help but look. Just cracks me up how fat this skirt is. Anyway, so I don't know what's going on here. No matter how many times I straighten everything out down here, it just gets messed up. So we're just gonna roll with what it's doing. Anyway, so this is the dress. It comes with this layer connected, just a simple tulle and cotton underskirt. Underneath is where we put all of the floofs. The floofs. So many floofs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of floofs and some bloomers with a ruffle butt. Now I know what you're thinking. Murasaki, how do you go to the bathroom in this mess? It's just that. It's a mess if you're not careful. Very carefully, very slowly, gather all of your layers together and pray for the best. If you know the struggle, you know the struggle. It is so much a struggle. So much a struggle. But so worth it when you get that boom. Look at that boom. Look at that boom. Now for my tights, I usually go with a pair of striped socks. I have a pair that are pretty much exactly like the stripe pattern on this dress, only they go horizontally. For this video, I thought I'd try something different. They're just a really cheap pair of like messed up fishnet stockings that I got after Halloween sale. I thought it would be really cool, but they're actually really, really uncomfortable. My shoes, they're ever changing. This pair, I got at Goodwill for like $6. So as you can see, without the floof, very, very flat skirt. Because this dress is so big on me, it just looks kind of weird when it hangs. So I like to wear lots of different petticoats underneath. Now this one I actually bought online on Amazon for my Alice in Wonderland costume. One size fits all. Super, super, super fluffy. Really comfortable. These two I got at Goodwill. They're just really, really cheap. Really thin, but they still poof out quite a bit when layered with other ones. These two I got at Walmart. They're exactly the same, just two different colors, red, black, to go with my costume. They have kind of a satin underskirt to them, making them so that you can't see through them, but when you wear this many, it doesn't really matter. I always like to wear a pair of bloomers underneath my dresses, just a personal preference, so that I could be animated, I can walk around, I can bend over, I can play, and still keep my dignity, I guess. I bought this pair on Amazon, about $20. Little heart decal here. 2 different ruffles at the leg with a ribbon. Back it might be a little wrinkly, I've been wearing it all day. But lots of different ruffles. So I know what you're thinking. How do you get so many different petticoats on at once? The easiest way to do it is to basically pick out the order in which you want to put them on and stack them one inside the other before you even try to put them on. Because if you try to put one on and then sneak the other one maybe on underneath, it doesn't sound so hard until you actually try to put it into practice. I definitely recommend stacking them one inside the other, just like this. It kind of helps you figure out like what kind of color order you want to put them in if you have different colors. For me, I like to go with the standard white petticoat for kind of the undergarment look, then the colored ones to kind of show off the colors of the dress. So I like to stagger them. This one's a little bit tighter than the other ones, so I like to put it on first. It has just a red ruffle and white. I don't really mind so much if it's inside this white one. Look at that. Look at that mess. Your legs go right here, and then you have all of this gathered all around you. It is ridiculous trying to get through doors like this, I'm not gonna lie, but it is so much fun. Now this is the hardest part, trying to get all of your petticoats going the right way at the same time. Because I have so many petticoats on at the same time, I don't really, I don't really keep track of whether or not they're sitting straight all the time. I think maybe it gives a little bit more of a personality if they're kind of messy, but obviously if you don't mind if it's a little messy on the bottom, I definitely recommend too many petticoats. I mean, as long as you can fit through the door. Is it really too many? Okay. So once you have all your petticoats on, then you can put on your top dress. Oh, that wasn't hard as I thought it would be. That's good. Oh, watch me turn red as a cucumber. Yeah, that's what I said. So here's my shirt. Very frilly white Lolita top. Lots of lace. Lots of ribbons. The back you can't really see. It has a kind of corset ribbon, drawstring ribbon to the back. Oof. Oof. I almost got it all in. Come on. So fat. This is pretty much where my costume started out. I just kind of threw on whatever I had at the time. The shirt I got at Goodwill for only a couple bucks. It's very simple, very, very fitted, lots of buttons down the front, but it's just a basic black shirt that fit me really well. It goes with the dress because it's kind of got that cute little girly sleeve going on. It's all I had, so that's what I went with. This black hat accompanies me most of the time when I wear this outfit. I know I'm supposed to be the Queen of Hearts, but I have yet to find a crown that I actually want to wear with this. I'm more of a fan of the I guess birdcage type crown, which good luck trying to find. So the one thing you're going to notice other than the shirt being different is obviously the skirt isn't as poofy. I only started off with one petticoat, this black one, which meant obviously it's not as full. It worked okay at the time. I mean, I was happy with just one. The socks are ever changing. I started off with just flat black ones, moved to more striped socks. These were the only ones I had at the time that would work. Also ever changing is the nylons. These are probably the most patterned ones I have, but I don't know, it's kind of a more sexy pattern, so I try not to just wear it all the time. I reserve it mostly for Halloween parties, around adults, just so little kids don't have to look at that. Something else that's different is my bloomers. These are the first ever pair that I had. It was all about the bottom part. They're super comfortable, really, really light. The one thing I don't like about these is that they are a lot longer. If you're gonna wear bloomers, I think it's totally acceptable to have the bottom showing in this day and age, because it's just all about costumes and different layers, different colors, extra detail in a very simple way. This old pair of bloomers worked really well, but because I was trying to be a Queen of Hearts, I started to think maybe it was too childish of a style to have them hanging out that much. So when I decided to choose my new pair, I went with a shorter pair that didn't stick out as much. It was a very small change, but I feel it did have a large impact in the character. Made the Queen of Hearts more mature, less Lolita-y for the moment until I added so many petticoats. This wig is definitely my favorite to wear with this costume. It's very short compared to the others. There's not a lot of hair to it. It's very thin, more like a regular head of hair, which on my tiny head fits a lot better. I don't have so much hair that it's obviously fake. This one could actually pass for real hair if I tried hard enough. I have very thin hair, and it's very short, kind of dark blonde. So when I wear something pretty and feminine, I just look like a tomboy still trying to pull off this dress, and it just doesn't work. So I thought I would just order a wig. You know, there's really, really nice wigs out there. Why did I choose purples for my wigs of choice? Okay, this story's from my original purple wig, the one I'm not wearing right now, but the one I was wearing in my last videos. But when it came to picking a color for the wig, that wasn't really my choice. We basically went through a bunch of the wigs and found a bunch of styles that I liked. I had to go to work, so I didn't actually get a chance to pick the one I wanted. I left that totally in my husband's hands to find one that was Amazon Prime, that would get to us on time, even though it didn't, but anyway. I was pretty much cool with anything as long as it wasn't a blonde or a brown or a black. I wanted a very obviously dyed color. When it was that bright purple color. I loved it instantly. And about the same time I needed glasses, so I was actually at the optometrist. They had these extremely purple shiny glasses that almost matched my wig to a T. And I was like, well, that's my color now. When it came to getting another wig, I decided to get purple again, just because at that point it was kind of like my staple. Some would argue that purple doesn't go with anything. I have yet to find any costume that I put together that doesn't look good with my purple wig, at least in my opinion. It's kind of a bold color, isn't it? What are you doing, hat? What are you doing, hat? Hat's having a seizure. Calm down. Now my costume does change a lot, but the one thing that does stay the same is my lipstick, which is this very vibrant, deep purple. And I got this a couple of years ago, so it's pretty old by now, but I've found that I can't pull off reds. I don't really like pinks, and nudes is just, I don't know, on me it looks dumb. So it just, why wear lipstick if you can't see it? This. You can see this. On my lips it gives it a little bit more of a pink undertone to it, but in like daylight, which we don't have even though it's 11:30 a.m. here in Wisconsin. Here in Wisconsin we don't have light. We have to resort to yellow tinting lights that make us look 40, but now, yeah, it disgusts him. It's a really interesting project. I never really imagined myself being the kind of person who would put so much like energy and thought into something like this, but as soon as I saw the like culture of like Lolita and the kind of like dolly fashion, Victorian fashion, steampunk fashion, cosplay, I knew it was only a matter of time before I just get sucked in. Depending on what you pair a shirt like this with, it can give it a either more fancy, classy lady look, or if it's something that's just ridiculously poofy like this, then it can make it look more childish. I'm able to wear it more if I have a few different things to change out, you know? Like, I like to take pictures of my costume when I get all dressed up, and if I just wear the same wig and the same shirt all the time, it gets really old. But as I add layers to the dress, as I try different wigs, as I get different shirts, it's just gonna stretch the life of dress that I love so much just a little bit more. The Queen of Hearts is a character I want to kind of grow with me. I want her to stay around for as long as I decide to do this little hobby. I like the old movie, I like the new movies. Obviously the Queen of Hearts is never portrayed in a fashionable or really, I don't know, she's so unagreeable that she's made to look ugly for a reason because you're not supposed to like her. But the thing that really changed my mind about Alice in Wonderland is this manga series. The book's kind of messed up. Anyway, this manga series, Alice in the Country of Hearts, is my favorite. As you can see, the Queen of Hearts is portrayed in a very sexy, very fashionable way. She definitely has a way prettier look in this. She's a lot nicer. She really, really likes Alice, but at the same time, off with her head. It was a complete chance that my original wig is the same color as her hair. It's not as pretty and well kept as that, but you know, you want to be her. She's pretty great. Fangirling all over her. Well, I don't have the boobs, she does. I like to, you know, I still try. I try very hard. It's Alice. She's dragged into the country of hearts by Mr. White Rabbit. Wackiness ensues. She meets a whole bunch of hotties, and she has to decide whether or not she wants to go home or not. I'll just put a spoiler alert right here. Alice decides to not go home. She decides to stay in this crazy world with all of these fun characters that she's grown to love. There's a literal mountain of spin-off books because Alice decides not to go home. She's kind of started liking all of the different characters, and there's several different guy characters. Each little like mini-series off of the original one is her hooking up with a different guy. The White Rabbit, the March Hare, there's the Knight, there's the Cheshire Cat, there's the Clock, what do I call him? The Clockmaker, the Lizard, Nightmare, who is technically the caterpillar, I guess, and, oh, of course, the Mad Hatter. And there's also Tweedledee, Tweedledum. That one's a little messed up. Watch it when you go with that one. But it's still pretty fun. It is for older teens. I mean, it is Alice falling in love with all of these different people. Alice is a definite, like, cynic. She really doesn't like being in Wonderland at all. She pretty much hates everything about it except the people that she grows to like. Maybe it's some kind of weird Stockholm syndrome, but it makes for good entertainment. Creepy face. Anyway, there's some that still take place in the Country of Hearts. There's also the Country of Joker. There's the Country of Clover. I'm not going to try to explain how those are all different. You can just look at them yourself, assuming you're old enough. You know, it's pretty much all about fan service after the original series ends, but it's good. I like it. I wish it would never stop. I wish they'd finish off the one where she gets with the White Rabbit, but that's just me. Fun story, I actually wore this to a costume party, I guess, if you could call it that. There weren't very many people, but anyways, just at this really shady bar in town. And the only reason I decided to go is because somebody that I went to school with is the bartender there, and a lot of people from work go there, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go to this costume party. I wore my costume. Everything was good. I show up, there's two guys fighting outside the bar. I'm like, oh. Eventually I work up enough courage to go in. I sit down, I order something, and I'm just sitting there, minding my own business. There's people all over the place, not dressed up. Whatever. I don't care. I'm sitting there, I'm dressed like this. Pretty much ignoring everybody, all eye contact, and until my husband would show up. Luckily, there was somebody that I did know there who sat with me and made it a little less awkward. And by the end of the night, my husband did show up. 10 minutes before this whole thing ends, my husband shows up dressed in his demon costume with the Queen of Hearts next to him. We each win $50. Very cool. Very cool. Now, granted, there were only 3 of us at this point that were still at the bar when they decided to give out prizes, but apparently the Queen of Hearts, she drew eyes right away. I'm pretty sure a couple of people thought I might have been a drag queen, which, like I previously stated with said Johnny Depp jawbones, I guess I don't blame him. I just don't blame him. If I walked into a bar, what would you say? I never really expected to get into it like this, but I've opened up a little bit in recent years, but I've also had a large spike in anxiety, and, you know, I'm dealing with depression, I'm dealing with anxiety. This is just like a temporary stress relief. It's not even an escape. I still feel like I'm me, but I'm able to be more expressive in a way that I'm not uncomfortable, because I'm wearing a silly costume, I'm wearing hair that isn't mine. It's just easier to be silly and nobody just kind of looks at you. They just, oh, she's the Queen of Hearts, look at her go, she's jumping around. By bringing this costume out, I hope that it kind of encourages other people to give their own costumes a try. I cry so hard every Halloween when I go to a store and it's just a rack of pre-packaged costumes. They're usually one big sewn together piece and it just looks really fake. I mean, my costume, it's obviously no Queen of Hearts that anybody knows, but you still know who I am. When it's not a convention or a party and I just wear it because Halloween is coming, that's my escape, you know? It's close enough to Halloween that they're like, oh, it's a Halloween thing, but at the same time it's not. You just get to dress up for no reason at all, really. That's the escape. That's all I have time for. My name is Murasaki Genie, aka the Queen of Hearts. If you like what you see, you know where to find me. Hat, what are you doing? Hat, what are you doing? Ugh, Hat does not want to be a part of this. Okay, Hat. Jeez, just don't be a part of it then.